the strangest feeling, to know what to believe in. Every time you touch
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Christine, and today I'm doing a little bit of a palette cleanser project. This is a no-sew, really satisfying, crafty kind of project that we can use. Oh, and see. Yes. Are you helping? Yes. So this project came about because I recently made my upcycled woven denim pillow, which you might have seen, and I still have a couple scraps of the jeans. This is actually a jean jacket that I have laying around, and I saw something similar to these as well as these on Pinterest, and I just couldn't get the idea out of my head. So today I'm going to show you how I made them. So the thing I love about these earrings is they are light as a feather. I can't even feel that I have them in. With big statement earrings, it's really hard. Most of them are so heavy that they're really hard to wear. So I'm super excited about these. So for supplies, you're just gonna need some denim. So for this style, you're going to need a seam. So such as this down the arm, or down the leg of jeans. For the fringy style, you're going to need the hem of the jeans. So the lower hem of a pair of jeans, you can see I cut a pair there. You could also use, I think along here, you could use this, you could use your pocket, you could use this front pocket for a little bit of a curvy one. So really, the sky's the limit with what you can do. The next supplies we're going to need are a couple little jewelry fittings, and the first are just these little, let me hold it this way, these are what go into your ear, and so the ones I'm using have one round thing here that I'm going to attach to the second jewelry piece we need, which are these little rings. I'm going to see if I can show you with my tweezers. You can see how they're kind of open. It's an open loop. And these are about, I would say about a 1/4 inch in diameter. And they have that opening. And the opening is really important because that's what kind of allows us to sort of catch it and attach it to our denim. Then we're just gonna need a couple little tools. The first are some pliers. And the second is, I believe it's called an anvil. But this has a very sharp point on one end, and we're going to use this to punch holes in our fabric in order to get our little round circle fixing into the denim. Then we're just going to need some regular fabric scissors as well as a pin. You could use a bobby pin if that's all you have laying around as well. Okay, so I'm going to start with our fringy style. Let me know in the comments below which style you like the best. I kind of think I like these ones just because they're a little bit more statement-y, but these are definitely a good kind of everyday go-to. So we're going to start by doing these. So we're going to need to take our denim that is the lower hem, or a hem in general. So we're going to start by cutting a 2-inch wide strip by 3 inches long. And so now that I have my 2-inch by about 3-inch, now I should mention that you can make these as wide as you want. My first pair, I made like double the width of this, and I felt that they just didn't hang right on my ears. So I ended up making them a little bit shorter. So these are 1 inch, but you could definitely make them longer, and you would just cut your fabric longer if you wanted to do that. So now from the wrong side of my little denim thing, I'm just taking my pin and I'm like kind of just pulling out some of the threads, because basically we're just going to start unraveling this by pulling the crosswise threads out. So we just start, you kind of just have to find one and then you just pull. And yeah, that's how we start to get that fringy kind of a look. So I like to work on my hard table, and I just take my pin and kind of like just pull the fibers out until I get like a loose one again, and then I just start pulling, and usually I can pull several at once. And so this is all we do. We just go through and just keep pulling these threads out until we reach this sewing of our hem. Okay, so I have my entire strip fringed out. Now what I'm going to do is cut this in half, because this is going to be one side and the other side. So I'll just kind of fold it. You can definitely measure this if you want, but I'm not being too exact here. I'm going to kind of split my fringe, and then I'm going to cut this, trying not to cut my fringe, and just cut the piece in two. So what I found is each quality of denim fringes and kind of looks differently, and also based on which direction you're pulling the threads from. So the threads I pulled from this are white, and the threads I pulled from this style were blue because they were going the opposite direction. This is really, really interesting, just, to kind of understand and pull apart the fabrics. The fabric nerd in me is really happy. So now that I have my two pieces, what I do is I just go along this side, and I'm just kind of roughing up this edge so that it has a little bit of the fringe there as well. It looks a little bit better than just like a regular cut edge. So I just kind of go and just pull out a couple threads there. These edges look really kind of cool. Okay, so now we are ready. I've just pulled out one of my little loops and one of my earring loop things, and I am going to now take my little anvil, or this poker tool, and just about halfway between the outer edges of this piece and just about 1/8 of an inch from the top, I'm just going to press my anvil in. And this is my cutting mat, so I can just cut right through it. And basically I'm just trying to poke a hole in this. You can see just kind of popped it through, and then I go from the opposite direction and I just do it again. So I really, it's kind of hard to poke a hole, but if you do it a couple times, then I'll take my tweezers or my pliers and my little open loop, and the loop, I just slide through that hole I just created. I got my loop through there, and now I just take my earring back, and I'm going to, let's see, kind of put it in the direction right side out so that my earring will hang this way as opposed to this way. So hopefully it will hang right. Yeah, that looks good. And then I just take my tweezers and I close that loop. I just squeeze it, and that will close the loop. And then I kind of bury the opening of that loop inside the fabric, just so you can't see it. And voila, we've got our fringy earrings. That was pretty simple if you ask me. You can go through and kind of brush the fringe, maybe get it a little bit more fringy. But yeah, these are done. Okay, now on to our second style, the feathers. With this style, we're going to be using a seam. So this is actually the arm of a denim jacket that I chopped off into a vest, which I really, really love. So for each earring, we're going to need to cut a piece of denim that's about 2.5 inches wide by about 4 inches long. So 2 of those is what I'm going to cut. So now that I have my piece cut, we are going to now go and cut out our oval shape. And so you could draw this if you wanted to use a pen. You could draw this on the back if you wanted, but I kind of like the creativity of just doing it freehand. And so that's just exactly what I'm going to do. Just going to start cutting in my oval shape. This one I'm actually going to kind of do a little bit more round because I want to. So there I have my oval. And we're gonna do the same exact technique. This is gonna look a little different, but we're gonna take our pin and fringe this one out. So this one has the blue threads coming out because we're going the opposite direction in the grain, and the fringe is going to appear as white. So I'm just going to fringe this all the way until I meet the seam here and the stitching on this side of the seam. Okay, so I have my earring all fringed out, and you'll see this happened with my first pair as well, that because the shape of the way the fabric was cut to get the shape of the arm, it wasn't perfectly perpendicular, which I love because each one is different. You kind of get, you fringe as far as you can go, and I love that effect. It's like something a little bit different. So these turned out really cool. So the next decision is, which way do I want them? Do I want them like that, or do I want them like that? And I kind of am liking that way. So I think that's what I'm going to do. The other thing you can do is go and just trim your shape if you want. I like this shape. I think it's okay. I could always trim it after as well. But I'm going to now use my anvil tool. And this one is a little bit tricky because we have several layers of denim here that we're going to need to go through. So I'm just going to use my anvil tool and about 1/8 of an inch from the top, just work a hole. And I'm going to do it from the front and then do it from the back and then from the front and the back, and do it several times until I really get a good opening in order to slip my loop through. Okay, I think I've got a good enough hole. Now I'm just going to take my pliers and see if I can get this through. Ooh, did it go? I think it went not all the way through. Didn't go through all the layers, but that might actually be okay. Yeah, I think that's gonna be okay. So it actually just went through, I think, 2 of the layers, not 3, but I think that's gonna be just fine. So I'll grab one of my earring looper things, and then I just thread that through one side. Let's see, I probably wanna put it this way so it'll hang correctly. And then I'll just take my tweezers or my pliers and just close that loop. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, there we go. Just close that loop nice and tight. And then I just bury that loop kind of in, hide it in between there so you can't really see it. And voila, our earring is done. I think every single pair is unique with these really fun earrings. So definitely do tag me on Instagram if you make these. I would love to see yours, and experiment with different shapes as well. I think that these are so fun. Such a good little palette cleanser project. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, just hit the like button on your way out. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, why not hit the subscribe button while you're at it? And you can shop my PDF patterns over on my website, sewinginthecity.com. I'm wearing my brand new Van Dam top and shirt, which I just love. I think these earrings are a really kind of fun way to accessorize with the top. That's it for me today. So I'll see you next time. Bye.
stay